So we have a coolant leak coming from this area right here. And where it's coming from is this. Most of the time, it's just the failed gasket. So you can just replace the gasket, or you have the option to replace the whole housing. One benefit of replacing the housing is you get a new thermostat with it. But it is a chunk more expensive replacing the whole thing versus just replacing the gasket. So that's up to you. First thing you want to do, we'll go underneath, we'll drain our coolant. We're going to take off this plastic cover. There's two 10mm bolts. Now on the side, there's little clips. We'll just take an angled pick or a flat screwdriver. We'll get those clips. Once I get one off, I'll show you what it looks like. So just like this. And what you're doing is just popping that top off, and then the whole clip comes out. So just go around, pop off all the clips. And then in the back, they changed up fasteners. It is a T20. All right, now this whole thing can just slide out. And now we have our front plastic to do. We'll take off all the 10mm first. So on the side, let me show you. There's another clip here in the back. I'll just pop that off. Let me grab my angled pick. There we go. Got it. And then another T20. All right, now this drops down. We'll do the same thing to the other side. For these clips, if you had to choose between a screwdriver and a pick, I'd take the pick. Much easier. Then we got this bolt. All right, now the whole thing will come down and we'll set it aside. We remove the plastic to get to our coolant drain, which is on the passenger side. But we'll just take this little wing here, we'll turn it. It'll start spilling out of this, and we'll just let it do its thing. There we go. It's coming out. We'll come up here, take this cap off. That'll let air come into the system. It'll drain a little faster. We'll take this hose out of the way, 7mm or flat screwdriver. And then we got one clamp right here. The screwdriver is a little long, so I'm gonna use my 7mm. I took it off the wrong one. So leave this one on. This one down here a little further. My screwdriver would have worked, but this is faster. Wiggle this off. There we go. Take it off up here. We'll start by taking off this electrical connector. It has that little red tab. Get in there with the screwdriver. We'll pop up that tab. And there's a center black tab. We'll pinch on that and then pull our connector off. There we go. Then on our hose, we have a wire retainer, little locking wire. So again, we could take a screwdriver. They give you a spot right here to put under. And we'll pull this out. Just like that. And if you can get your hands in there, we'll wiggle it off. I know my hand's gonna be in your way, but just wiggle, twist if you need. That comes off. Let me move you around. Our next hose is right there. Just get that with a regular pair of pliers, pinch that clamp together, move the clamp down the hose, then we'll pull that hose off. Don't think I can set you up anywhere where you can see that. I'm gonna use a long pair of pliers. Hopefully I won't be in your way very much, but it looks like I am. Okay, let's move down the hose. A lot of times you can take a flat screwdriver, push on the top of the hose, that'll get it to move down. There we go. Okay, that's off. It'll be fun getting it back on. We'll come in through this side to get it on. Now we just have our 3 fasteners. There's 2 on top, easy to see, and 1 down below. If you look on the new one, so it kind of sits like that, this on top. So you got these 2, easy to see, and then the bottom one is next to this little pipe bib, just for orientation. So our bolt is either a E10, that's an inverted Torx E10, or an 8mm. I'm gonna get this one first. There we go. Okay, once I crack it loose. Now if any of these wires are in your way and you wanna move them even more, feel free to unplug more stuff. Okay, there's one. Now the other side, got that extension, and we're gonna go underneath our PCV hose. No problem, got that one. I have an electric ratchet I'm gonna use. It'll speed things up. There's 2. Now the bottom one, we're gonna do the same thing. Come underneath all this. Try Try to locate it. Oh, there it goes. See how I can get my hand in there to pull it out. Nice, not too bad. Now with our old one out, you can see that our gasket is completely flat, no longer able to seal. So that was our failure point. To get the old one out, there's a little spot right here. We'll get a pick or a screwdriver, pop it up, get this whole thing out, just like that. And we can put in our new one. Another thing to think about with reusing your old housing is this sensor here has an O-ring and you can't replace it. Let me show you. You take this off, wiggle it up, and you'll notice that there's wires inside. The O-ring is right here. You can't get this O-ring off in order to replace it. So that's just kind of a bummer with that. So this becomes a potential future fail point, and you're right back where we are. So just something to think about. If all you're doing is replacing the gasket, this could be something down the road where you're replacing the whole housing anyway. So let's install our new one. We're just gonna wipe off the surface by our engine. Doesn't require any scrapers, just a wipe to get any grit or anything off. Now comes the hard part. We'll put this in. So we're gonna kind of get it set in there. I'm gonna plug it in. What that's gonna do is if I drop it, it won't go far. I'm just gonna plug in the electrical connector. I know I'm totally in your way. There we go, it's plugged in. Oh, I moved you. So now, if I drop it, it won't go far. In fact, it kind of suspends it for us, so that's pretty nice. Let's see if I can get this side one in. Nice, I actually did. Now we'll move this down. So this next one will be really hard. What I'm gonna do, I have a piece of paper towel. I'm gonna put it in my socket, like that. And then this in the socket, there, and that holds it. So now I can come underneath, sneak around, put it in that hole. There we go. I'm gonna drop my socket, but I got the bolt in the hole. So I'm gonna snug these down. I'm not gonna tighten them, but just get them in a little further than they are. The last one will be the hardest one. I'm gonna do the same thing. Put it in like that. Go underneath. It's gonna be a real, oh, it dropped. All right, let's try it again. Really gonna try to aim it. It's gonna be super challenging, but we can get it. This will put me in your way, but I'm gonna try to reach around the back side. See if I can feel that hole, and you can, and then guide it in. Yeah, perfect. Okay, that's the trick. And then we'll turn this a few times. Some threads started. There we go. So not too bad. You just kind of have to force yourself past this hose. It keeps getting in the way. Oh, I must have turned the camera off. All I did was just tighten the bolts. I don't know why that wasn't recording, but I just used my power tool, sucked them down. I'll throw the torque spec on the screen. It is not very much, so we definitely don't want to over tighten these. Let me see if this was on. Can I still reach around to get that other hose? The answer is kind of. Now if this is off, does that give me a better hose grabbing position? Yes, it does. Okay, so let's get that back hose on first. I don't know where to set you up to see it. So I'm just reaching down and around. Get that hose on, just push it up, and we'll get our clamp on. Probably gonna be in your way again. Sorry, I'm just gonna have to move you. Sorry I couldn't show you that going on. But we did get it on. So now, we just have this to put on. Our clip, we just want to push in. This pushed in on its own, just moving things around. And we'll just put this on. We'll slide it till it clicks. And that's it. Oh, we didn't lock our little red tab. There we go. Now we got a lot of coolant on our serpentine belt. That'll cause it to squeak. So what we want to do before starting it is just get it really clean, either with some brake clean, hose it down with some water, but at the very least, clean it off the best we can. We'll put this boot back. Now I took this off for filming. I don't think it really helped give me any more room, but if you feel like, hey, that's something I want to do. It comes off really easy. It's just grommets in the front. You just pop it off, put that back in the back there, push this in. There we go. Now on this, what I like to do is put a little dielectric grease right in here, just right inside. Now if you don't have any dielectric grease, that's okay. It's really not required. It just helps these come off a little easier in the future if you need to. It doesn't take a lot, just a little bit, rub it around. Just acts as a lubricant. It also protects the rubber. I'll slide this on. Just tighten these up, good and snug. Do this bottom one down here, good and snug. Nice. all finished. Last thing we have to do is run through the coolant bleed procedure. Super easy on these vehicles. Underneath, make sure that your coolant drain is closed, then we'll hop over to the coolant bottle. On this side, underneath this box, if we go down, right there is a little radiator bleeder. With a standard Phillips, we want to take that out. Now we'll take our antifreeze of choice. Now I should have mentioned on that bleeder screw, it doesn't have to come completely out, just unscrewed all the way. And you can also use a flathead if you have that handy instead of a Phillips. Then we just start filling this up until coolant comes out of that bleeder. Once coolant starts coming out of that bleeder, we'll close off that bleeder and we'll start the vehicle up. I'll throw the rest of the procedure on the screen. There's only a few more steps to do and you're done. Clean everything off really well so it'll be easy to identify if there's any leaks. Other than that, thanks for watching. I'll have links in the description for all the parts and tools used. If you have any questions, comment, post down below. We'll see you on the next one.